Excellent. So one more time, we should be okay now. So guys, one more time, welcome and to the presentation about how to discover opportunities in the advent of COVID-19 to become fully productive, unshakable business leaders and influencers anytime, anywhere, always. As I mentioned, it's a mouthful. But the next 45 minutes, we will talk about new opportunities, new things that we can do, new ideas that I hope will sparkle some more ideas for you. So before I start and talk about the leadership, how we can take advantage of what's happening, the changes that are happening now, and think about opportunities to elevate our leadership, I would like to spend a minute or so on a short introduction of myself. So I've been working in the travel industry for over 20 years, and I worked for various corporations, various travel companies, very large ones. One of them was travel management company where I really truly um, worked with corporations, but we were focusing on travel policies, on things, how to save money for the corporation. But to be honest, no one cared about um, travel wellness, no one cared about health, no one cared about the fact that the employee has to be on the plane for 7 hours and in the back of the plane, in the middle seat. And no one cared about it. No one even thought about that. I also traveled, quite a lot. There were months, there were, seasons that I had to travel to different destinations, and there were times where I traveled once a week, which was quite a lot. And this kind of stuff takes a toll on your skin, health, beauty, wellness, on everything, pretty much, even your family. And at that time, no one told me what to do. No one told me about travel wellness. No one told me about how to travel smart, how to be rested, how to look nice and your best whenever you travel. So I decided to open and set up my own company, which is Satchelle Global, uh, Finel, and create travel wellness programs. So I will be talking a little bit about that today as well. So as we noticed, thinking about, what's happening now, I hope you noticed just as much as I did, recently things have changed a bit. And as you can see, it's not a popularity contest. It's not a beauty contest either. The one on the left is whatever is happening now, right? I mean, the pictures are quite cool. But again, it's not a popularity contest or beauty contest. All I want to say is that today we have a coronavirus, but in the past we had a swine flu, we had MERS, we had birds flu. And this is not, something that will not happen again in future. Even when we think about the seasonal flu, in the year 2018, 2019, the regular, the normal, like the flu season actually killed 35,000 Americans in the US. Can you imagine that? I mean, it's quite a lot. So those kind of things are happening all the time, but sometimes we just don't think about that. So we are in the winter of business right now. And um, but when it comes to the times of the year, seasons of the year, it's actually what, spring, right? But the CDC chief is already saying that there could be second, possibly worse coronavirus outbreak this coming winter. So he's basically saying, get ready, get prepared, because there will be more, probably worse. So how this current situation impacted our lives? We are at home. All of us are at home. Some of us are bored. Some of us are doing things maybe are less important. Some of us are, resting, relaxing. But some of us are looks like are very busy. So there is a thing which is like a hate crime is increasing. I didn't know about that. Some people are busy with our cars, right? So this is something which we don't like, but happens. Let's think about things which are happening in terms of the fact that everything goes online. So we can watch fashion shows online. This is not something that happened in the past. We don't have to be present in person at the inaugural cruises, because now the cruise lines are doing that via video tours. Let's think about this one, which is New York. What's happening in New York currently? You can even, get married via Zoom. again, something we wouldn't be able to do in the past. What else is happening? So we are receiving money, right? We are spending money. We're even fighting to get our money back. But this middle one, for some of you who don't know, I'm from Poland. So this morning I was reading in Travel Weekly an article about Poland, who is planning on giving Polish citizens a voucher or vouchers, domestic travel vouchers. And those vouchers are for the corporations to give to their employees to spend them on domestic travel. And apparently Romania did a similar thing in the past, and Slovakia did the same thing early this year. So this is, again, we're getting money, we're receiving money, and I find it very interesting. What else is happening? There is a new fashion. Nice, right? I mean, people are trying to be creative with the masks. We're even being told what kind of masks to wear, what color, what's fashionable, what's not. We're even getting married, wearing masks. Would I want to do it? I don't know. If I were to get married now, I think probably I would have, postponed that. I wouldn't want to have a picture with this mask on, or maybe, who knows. So as we said, so many things have changed for us in many ways, but I truly believe that in many ways, it is not a bad thing, because it's giving us really opportunities. It's giving us time for a change of our values. That's how I see it. I mean, now it's time to reflect, to pause, to stop for a minute and think about, how did we conduct business in the past? How did we treat our employees? How did we hire our employees, right? Who did we select to work with? Think about spending more time, did we have time to spend with our family, with our children? I mean, to be honest, do I like the homeschooling? No, I don't. But I'm doing this. My husband is doing this. And really truly we are spending more time with our kids at home. I now have time to have lunch with my daughter and my husband, which I never had before. We've never done it before. But also what I noticed and what I've seen is 98% of time we chose our money over our values, and in many, many different ways. So let's take a look at the way we traveled in the past. Is it me? Well, that's the gentleman, right? But yes, it was me in the past. I don't travel like this anymore. And no one cared about that, right? How we traveled, we were squeezed in. What did we do? We tried to get as quickly as possible and as cheap as possible from point A to point B. Let's think about the food we were buying. What did we care about? Is the price, to make it quickly, to be able to consume it quickly? Did we care about all the ingredients, nutrition facts of those meals? No, we didn't. What about salads? What about, homemade lunches and other things? So there is even a list of top worst processed foods. Did we know about that? What about beauty products? What about cosmetics? All the things that we've been using, I mean, for our day-to-day beauty routines. And have we ever really thought about those top 10 ingredients to avoid in makeup and skincare products? We usually don't look at that at all. We look at price. I mean, that's the primary factor, right? What about those genuine fake watches? I love this one, we've seen it all the time. There's a lot of this stuff going on in big cities in the United States, right? And not only in the world. So we all cared about the big bucks, right? But I truly believe it doesn't have to be that way, and not everything what is healthy, related to wellness, doesn't have to be expensive. So as I mentioned, we are in the great period of pause, and it gave us a big, huge window of opportunities to change the things that we do, to think about that we do, that to be the leader, to make decisions, to change the ways we hire people, to change the way we travel, to change the ways we eat, and a lot of other, to even impact people in a positive way, people who are around us, our families, friends, and neighbors, anybody else who is really close to us. So it's time to make a decision. And I highly recommend this book, The Power of Decision. I had a chance to read it a couple of times, very interesting, and I always come back to it. And every day I make a decision. One of my decisions is I am a better leader. I am a better mother. And it's not about that I will be, it's actually what's happening now. I am a better, person. I have more time for my family. I have more time for my business. I have more time for my employees. And that's, those decisions which I make every day. I also recommend this Secret book, which, to be honest, I'm in love with this one. I watched the video, I read the book. I learned a lot, and all those learnings I actually implement every day. It's the visualization, right? It's the basically law of attraction. So if you attract good things, if you think about good things, you will attract good things that are around you. So, who wants to shape the new course? Who wants to be ahead of the game? Who wants to start something new? It's, to be honest, it is just one secret, one thought, one strategy, one person at a time. And those new things, those new changes, all of them can be done because we know that in the past, all the movements started with just one idea, one person, one strategy, and then another person followed, and then more other people did that. So really, truly, all of it started with you, with me, with all of us, and with one individual person. So leaders, we were talking about a little bit about leaders. So leaders are the people who can facilitate a breakthrough. Is it you? Is it me? Yes, it's us, right? People who can inspire other people, clients, employees, suppliers, friends, family members, neighbors. Leaders are those who can see what others cannot. And I see a lot of opportunities in this current world. And I will be talking about a few things in a moment. What about leadership? So what's the leadership? It's an ability to create amazing lives for ourselves and other people. It's the ability to unlock our own and help others to unlock their full potential. And it's also the courage and being open to something totally new. So I will be showing you something totally new. And again, I really hope it will inspire some and sparkle some ideas. It will inspire you. So how can we change to become unshakable business leaders and influencers, be fully productive and resourceful during and post coronavirus? And to be honest, always, right? We don't have to have coronavirus to be to elevate our leadership. So there are two secrets I want to share with you. So the first one is to become a change leader in your business, your employees' lives, and other people. You must first stop doing the same old. We all do the same old because that's the only thing that we know. And this is causes actually limitations, right? So let's take a look at a few new things that we could do. I want to talk to you about travel wellness, introduce you to travel wellness. And this is this a new topic? Well, travel wellness is not very popular. It's not very well known today. So who is this for? Who is travel wellness for? It is for business leaders. It is for entrepreneurs. It is for executives, for team members. It's for people who own businesses, who are a part of business, who are running business, who are contributing to businesses. It's the people who travel all the time or who don't, who only travel once a year. This is for people who want to learn more and spread the knowledge among their friends, family members, and other people around them. And it's really, this is for the person who is really the most important. It's for you. So what do we choose? What do we prefer, ordinary or phenomenal? Well, I'm in the second one, right? So how do we want to travel? We get to choose, right? I mean, this is a picture, someone took the picture, right? But the thing is, I mean, that's how we travel all the time. And do we like that? Sometimes, again, sometimes we have to be think about our financial situation as well, right? But if we have a choice, there are much better ways of doing that. So when I talk to people and when I do presentations, I give them tips and tricks. So when you book a trip and you book a flight and you have an option of selecting a seat, I tell them where to sit to actually not to feel that tired. I understand there may not be a lot of leg room in certain areas on the plane, but there are other ways to think, consider, and know. So ordinary versus phenomenal. That's how we want to travel, right? What about the food we eat? This one, the one on the left is actually American Airlines. This one is KLM, and this one is British Airways. I have to tell you, with those new changes, new regulations, you will not be able, even in business class, first class, you will not be able to eat food which is just as open as you can see like that. You will not be getting drinks in new glasses. I mean, in glasses, basically. Many times in the economy class, drinks were refilled in those plastic cups. You will not be getting those plastic cups either. You'll be getting single bottles now. So to talk about, to eliminate any contamination and so on. You will not be able to grab food from the plane. It's not actually when you are on the plane from a tray or something, like usually when the cabin crew member walks across the, alley, she or he, is providing us with a tray, and then you can just grab it. Those things are going to change. All of this is happening and is changing. So how do you want to travel? I mean, boarding gates crowded, or do you want to travel in style and be able to take advantage of those, beautiful lounges? And I'm talking about not only you, but your employees, your coworkers. There are cheaper ways of doing this. You don't have to necessarily buy a business class ticket to be able to relax in those nice business lounges. So what about this one? Let's think about it. I mean, doesn't this one look familiar, or this one? I mean, can you imagine all those, there are even articles written about 9 ways prolonged sitting can harm you. And it's not only about your, your legs, but it's about your head, your neck, your heart, your arms, everything. That is impactful. So how do you want to travel? It's your decision, because your decision to make. And I don't know if some of you know, but there are spa services. And like I said, it doesn't have to be expensive. If for corporations, smart travel leaders and travel people responsible for purchasing services from suppliers, travel suppliers, they can actually very easily negotiate spa services which are included in the price. And this is what I teach people to do and how to do that. So you get to decide and be the leader who implements travel wellness in 4 easy steps. And those are usually the things which I show the people I work with. So the step number 1 is, and again, it's on the company level, but think about yourself too. It's a review of your travel policy, right? So corporations have to review travel policies. They have it. If they don't have it, we usually, I help them with that too. What's very important is this: identify past travel patterns, upcoming travel, and review sitting plans on the plane, aircraft types, etc. You know what? I want to really talk about it because, as I mentioned, when I work with clients, with people, I tell them where to buy. I mean, what kind of seat to select on the plane. Why? Did you know that we all know, right? The higher up we are, the air is super cold, right? And did you know that the air on the plane is recycled? Probably you knew that, or you've heard of that somewhere. But the thing is, only the cabin, the pilots, right? The cockpit is getting the fresh air, where the air is not recycled in only this small area. So the closer you get to sit to the front of the plane, the better is for you, because you get a chance to get those to get fresh air. And this is the reason why, I mean, those business class seats are actually, the first class is built in front of the plane, right behind the pilots on the plane. So those are the things that I discuss with people I work with, because those are the simple things. And even if you think about, economy class, premium economy, sometimes it really takes you, what, $10, $20, you get to sit closer to the front of the plane. In March, I was flying from Orlando to Washington DC this year, and I had to reschedule a flight. And what happened? I was able to get an upgrade for $2.97, and to be honest, it was $2.97. That has never happened to me before. And of course, what did I do? I selected and I had an option to change my, flight and seat for free in the economy class. I paid that $2.97, and I was traveling in style. Not only this, there was a gentleman who made a mistake. He was sitting on my seat, and when I came on the plane, he was cleaning his seat, and I'm thinking, I think you are sitting in mine. So then he cleaned his own while he moved. So I was really, I don't know, fortunate at that time. Anyway, step 2. I'm pretty sure some of you or many of you are looking at what's happening now. I mean, with these travel suppliers, with policies, procedures, a lot of things will change. And I have to tell you, when you read, when you watch, when you educate yourself, um, it's really amazing to know what the airlines, for example, are doing now in terms of cleaning, sanitizing, versus what they did in the past. I mean, how many times did we travel and did we see the crumbs on the floor? How many times did we travel and we saw the trays? One thing which I always tell people I work with, um, to be aware of the contamination zones on the plane, at the airport, in the taxi or public transportation, private transportation. The most important on the plane itself is whatever is in front of you is number one. Things like the tray, the TV screen. Number two, everything which is behind you, which is the bathrooms, everything what's there. Number three is everything above you, which is the air conditioning, the controller, right? Um, Number four is everything which you are, sitting on, like a pillow or blanket or other things. So be aware of this. What else I want to point out is the new TSA rules. Starting now, we can carry on in our carry-on luggage 12 ounces like a hand sanitizer without being stopped by anybody, really. There will be new rules, and I included this little item here, bullet points about spas, because in my teaching I combine beauty and travel. Spa owners are now considering taking temperature checks during the check-in process. So, when you come and you check in with the lady, the front desk lady, it's really truly, do not be surprised if that was going to happen to you. They're getting ready, they're implementing, spa owners are implementing new sanitization procedures, new things that they will be doing. And in the past, what happened was they were hiding from, when they were cleaning, tools and other things. This was not visible to clients. This is now coming in front of us. This is something we will be able to see, how they are cleaning all those tools and other things that we're using and touching in those spa salons. Number three, negotiate travel wellness services. So this is one of the things which I want to talk about. It doesn't have to be expensive when it comes to implementing the travel wellness program, negotiating travel wellness programs with suppliers. Many times, this can be included in our price of the ticket. So think about those healthy menu options. Think about those rejuvenation packages, which you saw a picture of, in the spa at the airport. This kind of stuff. And I know of companies, actually, they were able to negotiate with suppliers. Even, they're being picked up by a black car service from their homes, and they're taken to the airport within the, and I'm not talking business class, I'm even talking, economy class ticket. How, isn't it smart actually to, offer to your employees for additional, I don't know, $25 or $30 access to the business lunch, so they can sit, rejuvenate, relax, even if they are not traveling, in economy class. Excuse me, even if they are traveling in economy class, right? So for 25 bucks, 35 bucks more, they can be really relaxed, and thank you for that. Think about those insurance premiums that, you can keep down. And I always talk about new, different potential suppliers that you can work with, companies can work with to be able to provide the wellness services. Number four, update internal procedures, tools, train your employees for easy access to the information, because whatever new you negotiate, you have to tell them about that. So secret number 2, the key to the success at work is not the salary. That's what I truly believe. But it is the gift of beauty and travel wellness. And to be honest, you should offer, if you are opening, or if you are the owner of a company, you should offer it to your employees. But if you are not, if you're an employee, you should demand it. Many times now, and me working with the travel management company and working with other clients, the trend is people are able and they are um, choosing or selecting a new job based on the benefit packages. So benefits that they can receive. And many times it is the travel policy as well. So what can you do? You can train your employees, but also create, guidelines, update aircraft types, sitting options, provide them with this healthy menu options. How many times did we hear about when people travel, they gain weight, all the health problems. Many times people travel, they are away from home for a week and then they spend weekend at home. People gain weight, they have heart problems, other diseases are happening much often. And go the extra mile. What do I mean by this? So today I also work with people, and I create beauty itineraries on the go. That's how I call them. So when we travel, we have a travel itinerary, right? We know exactly what we are traveling, when, how, and so on. And as much as we are planning our wardrobe, for every single trip, we know what we are wearing in the evening for a dinner party. We know what we are wearing when we are presenting. Um, the same applies to those beauty itineraries, to those beauty routines. That changes. Imagine this. You are on the plane flying from Washington, D.C., where I live. You go to Europe, different time zone, different climate. From Europe, you go to Asia, different, again, climate, different time zone. It may be even a different time of the year. Many times when someone tells me, oh, Adita, you have oily skin. That's totally correct. I do have an oily skin. But no one tells me that for my trip to India, um, my skin type will be totally different. It will change and I will need totally different product to use. So this is a part of the service that we are offering to people I work with, is the beauty itinerary, beauty routine, a new beauty routine on the go, which is matched with their destination, with their skin type, their age, and a place where they normally live, right? So again, give the gift of beauty and travel, and especially for those C-level people, within the company corporation, because they always want to look their best and they, feel great all the time. So I was interviewed by the Spa Industry Association president, Alan Scher. So when I told him and I was walking him through this beauty routine on the go, he was amazed. And he was like, oh my God, Edita, I've been working for 30 years in the beauty industry. I never thought about that, beauty and wellness, travel wellness, that kind of stuff. He said, I had no idea. He said he loved this whole concept and other things I was presenting to him. One of the person I've been working is Paulina. She is a flight attendant, and I didn't include here, but I have pictures when she is using different masks and things, on the plane when she travels, right? I mean, can you imagine? Crew members, they travel all the time. We know that the higher we up in the air, there is almost no humidity. So on the planes, the humidity is around 20%, but it should be the norm is 60-80%. So what happens with the skin? The skin is getting totally dry and red, dry, and it doesn't look good. So can you imagine those cabin crew members and those frequent travelers, how impactful the travel is for them. Don't forget about group travel. So when you have, when you are working for a company, you travel as a group. Again, do not forget about those routines. I was asked last month to work with a group who was actually traveling to India, 40 people, and to create a beauty routine. So what I do help and educate people what to do, what not to do when they travel. And it's really about taking a good care of themselves, providing them with tips and tricks before, so they feel great and look their best before, during, and after travel. So imagine this: 7 hours on the plane, and what happens next? You get off the plane. Who do you see? You see your boss, you see your client, you see your coworker, and you don't look your best, right? But you are just about to go and attend, business luncheon. You don't have time to refresh, but there are things that you can do and when to do it when you travel by plane. So that's what I also talk about it. One other thing which I'm frequently asked about is food. And I will just give you one tip because I'm looking at my watch. Really, truly, the question is to drink or not to drink on the plane, right? Alcohol beverages. And the answer is do not drink any alcohol beverage. And I know it for some people may be like, oh my God, right? If you really want to do it, please feel, do it. I mean, go ahead when you are in between flights, but not up in the air because the skin gets drier. And alcohol is actually sugar. And people who like red wine and they have, for example, rosacea, my goodness, their skin will be even more red, and it doesn't go away very quickly, when you are traveling. So think about it, right? I mean, before you consume those things. Also, in terms of food, green stuff, do not eat anything greasy, any greasy burgers. Do it, I mean, go ahead, again, in between flights, but not when you are up in the air. But if you can, on a short flight, try to avoid any snacking. The peanuts are, a killer. Anything salty, retain water, creates puffiness and other things which you just don't want to do. So all changes start with you, and you may say, well, I'm not good enough. I don't know how to start. I don't know what to do. And I know the beginnings are always difficult, but, I help, pretty much every step of the way. So I wanted to quickly spend a minute or so on the programs and support which, we are providing. We work with corporations where we implement travel wellness programs, update travel policies, conduct trainings for employees and other things. But we also work the executive team members. And again, this is the C-level, the senior executive team, where we work on those beauty routines. It's an added value to their travel wellness programs. And I truly believe it enhances the benefit package for the executive team greatly. And again, we do not forget about the group travels, and we support them when they travel. Sometimes we send our employees to, I don't know, 2-week training to, I don't know, Latin America, or from Latin America, people come to the US, or we send our employees to India and vice versa. That happens all the time. And there is a way to prepare, ourselves for that. So I will be conducting the series of webinars. So the next one is, we will be talking about travel wellness. So it's every Thursday at 12 p.m. Grażyna should be with us today as well. Grażyna Pajunen, she will be my guest speaker next Thursday. We'll be talking about wellness, beauty, a lot of different things. And I've been working with Grażyna for a while now, and she introduced me to a product, BioCell product, which is amazing. And she will be talking about that BioCell product too, which talks about skin. They have like three different versions. One is for skin. This is a liquid which you drink. Amazing. And I've seen after two months actually of using it, I have to tell you, I see changes on my skin. The color has changed. My wrinkles are disappearing. I have to tell you that people who are having problems with joints, and again, especially when we travel, we have those problems. The products we'll be talking about are helping with that as well. Is it Grażyna? Is it you? Again, Grażyna was supposed to join us. I just heard something. But my entire family is actually using or we're drinking those products, especially my husband who has a spine condition. He cannot travel too much either. Grażyna, is it you?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It's
yes, I'm
me.
just introducing you, so it's good to see you and hear
Perfect
you.
timing.
Perfect timing. Yes, I've been saying that we've been working together
Yes.
for a while now, and you introduced me to BioCell product. And next Thursday at 12, we'll be talking about implementing travel policies, taking step by step in greater detail. But we'll be talking about beauty as well. Why are we aging? How to prevent the aging process? How to stop the aging process? And I mentioned those BioCell products that you had and you introduced me to, and I've been using them, I've been drinking them, and I'm just telling everyone that my skin color has changed, everything is improving, and like I said, I'm super excited about that, and I will continue to be.
Yeah, we get such amazing testimonials of people, and I'm pretty sure that it could be interesting to a lot of your listeners.
Perfect. Okay, so guys, to recap, the most impactful people are committed to facilitate change in the lives of others, right? We're talking about the leadership, the leaders, and so on. And the change starts with us, right? With you, with me, with everyone else, because it is one step at a time, one person at a time. And the last slide is about the most powerful transformative force in the world is a change mind, your own. And I'm quoting David Bayer. He has an amazing, leadership program, which I participate in that, and actually, I personally I love it. It's changed the way I think. It changed the way I do things, and it's changed the way I conduct business. So I really like that. Highly recommend it. So for those of you, again, I usually offer a free discovery session with people who are interested. I just want to let you know about that. And this is it. Really, truly, thank you very much. It is 12:41, p.m. my time. So if anyone has questions, anyone, would like to, I don't know, comment or is interested in something else, something new, just let me know. And I would like to stop recording because we don't have to record it. Okay. Questions? Anything else?